Well, good morning, everyone. This particular saying I just love because I get asked often, what's the difference between meditation and prayer? And I think this little quote sums it all up. And you might want to think about listening first, meditating first, and then asking, then going into your prayer. Listening gives us a little window to connecting our mind and our body, doing that self care check in, and possibly doing the self care check in might help us prompt what we need to pray for. So give a little thought to that. You know, this is a really great time to cultivate this practice because it gives us at least a pause before we start our day, before we take information into ourselves from the outside world. It gives a little pause to go within and pay attention to your needs, what you need, assimilate before you ask for something in prayer. So begin to find your seat, your practice in your sacred space. The posture for going within in a meditation is sitting with the feet flat on the floor, so you're connecting to the earth. Or if you're sitting on the floor, connecting with your sit bones to the earth. And as you connect to the earth energy, remember the energy above you, the stars and the moon, the sun. As you sit between these two energies of the yin and the yang, it's our protective field as well, knowing that we're surrounded by this beautiful energy of the earth and heaven. And take a moment to listen to your inner self, first focusing on how your physical body feels right now. How does it feel today? And when you know, then you can go, which means that maybe you could prevent something from flaring up if you pay attention to where your body needs some extra care or attention. Qigong is about prevention. And if we can catch something, the root of something, it might prevent it from flaring up to something much bigger, much more serious. So, physically, how do you feel today? And then ask and listen for your answer. What does my body need today? Again, just as important of knowing how you're feeling and knowing what you need or don't need. And then we come to our emotional body, which a big effect, does have a very big effect of how the physical body is going to react. If you're extremely stressed out, you're going to be dropping in the cortisol hormone that wreaks havoc on our body. It creates a lot of inflammation. Of course, there's nothing wrong in being stressed. What's detrimental is not recognizing it, being able to soften the stress, We all have stress, but it's recognizing when we're in it and when we can't get out of it. If you're feeling joy, then the dopamine hormone takes over, which will heal the body. That's why it's important to create inner smile whenever you get a chance to remember to do it, because that neurologically starts to switch up the stress and brings in the dopamine hormone, the good hormone that heals. So listen, pay attention emotionally. How are you today? Recognize where you're at, no judging. And then we'll come to the breath, our breath. The breath is the bridge between your mind and your body. This pre-flight check in with your breathing. Notice how you're breathing before you change anything up. The breath will be a big indication of how you're really feeling. If it's short and shallow, you're probably maybe stressed. If it's deep and full, you might be in a more relaxed state. So the breath is wonderful because we can actually control the breath, and controlling the breath will help how we feel and how the body reacts. So let's come to that 4 count breath. That it's called box breath. It's been proven to work on many levels. And it's simply inhaling for a count of 4. And then you'll hold the breath. You'll pause the breath, and then you'll exhale for a count of 4. You'll hold the breath before you inhale again, and then you inhale again for a count of 4. Remember to pause, and then exhale for a count of 4, and pause. Work with this for a bit. You're going to notice at first it might be a little difficult to catch the breath, but stick with it for several minutes, and then I'll guide you to the next step. So come to your box breath, your 4 count breath. And then notice how your breath is. Did it change up? If you want to continue with that as your anchor for meditation, go right ahead. If you like to use a mantra, so hum, whatever you use, then use this next minute to come into that place you would like to be at, either in one pointedness, continue with the breath count, or just simply being for 1 minute. And then check in to yourself again and listen. Or ask a question, and maybe you'll be able to hear your answer in the listening. And then with that, set an intention for your day. And perhaps the intention today is today I invite into my life listening to myself or listening to others. Today I invite into my life whatever you need. Bring that in and lift the corners of the mouth up into that inner smile as you create a higher vibration for this intention. Today I invite into my life and then still with the eyes closed, rub your hands together, create some warmth as we bring the hands to our eyes as we transition slowly from this self check-in meditation quietude moment. And then open your eyes into your palms as you let a little bit of the light in and gradually open up a shade to a new day, a new beginning, a new moment as we transition.